Welcome to This Explainer. Today, we're diving straight into one of the most fascinating and frankly, completely chilling developments in modern cybersecurity, AI-driven social engineering. We are going to break down exactly how artificial intelligence is being weaponized right now to create these perfect digital illusions. But more importantly, we're going to talk about how you can actually train yourself to see right through them. I want you to just picture this scenario for a second. It's late on a Friday afternoon, you're wrapping up, your phone rings, and you glance down at the caller ID. It's your boss. So you answer, and the voice on the other end knows your exact name. And they sound absolutely identical to your boss. I mean, the pitch, the tone, even that slight gravel in their voice, it's all perfectly accurate. And they're issuing a really urgent demand. They tell you that a vendor needs to be paid immediately to secure a critical contract, and they need you to wire $50,000 right now. The pressure is totally on, and everything sounds perfectly real. But here's the catch. It's completely synthetic. It's a digital phantom generated by AI. And look, this isn't some plot from a sci-fi movie set 50 years in the future. This exact scenario is happening to companies right now, today. So here's how we're going to break this all down today. 1. The AI impersonation threat. 2. Anatomy of a fake. 3. The real-world impact. 4. Spotting the synthetic. And 5. The defense playbook. All right, let's jump right into Section 1, the AI impersonation threat, or what we can call accessible deception. You know, the absolute most terrifying part of this whole threat, it's the sheer accessibility. The very same AI technology that's meant to automate our tedious workloads or help creators make amazing content, yeah, it's being abused by criminals with alarming speed. Just a couple of years ago, creating a fake audio or video clip that was actually convincing meant you needed a Hollywood-level budget, a room full of supercomputers, and a whole team of VFX artists. But today, creating a hyper-realistic voice clone literally requires just a few seconds of source audio. Someone could just rip a tiny clip of you speaking from your public social media, and that's it. That's all they need. Even complex deepfake video can run on standard off-the-shelf consumer laptops. The barrier to entry hasn't just lowered, it's completely collapsed. Which brings us to Section 2, Anatomy of a Fake, and how they go about building this illusion. To actually weaponize your voice, the AI executes this really precise multi-step recipe. It doesn't just copy the sound of your voice like a tape recorder. Instead, it analyzes hundreds of individual speech characteristics. It learns your unique pronunciation quirks, it maps your tone, your natural speaking rhythm, and, this is crazy, it even studies exactly where you naturally pause to take a breath. By mapping all of those micro-behaviors, the AI builds a complex mathematical model of how you speak. And that allows it to generate entirely new sentences that you have never, ever said. And here is a really crucial distinction. We are dealing with synthetic speech. We are not talking about some scammer sitting at a computer pressing play on a pre-recorded soundboard. That would be way too rigid. This audio is being generated dynamically, in real time, by an AI model. So what does that mean for you? It means the attacker can have a fluid, two-way conversation. If you get suspicious and ask them a random question, the AI instantly generates the perfectly cloned audio response. And honestly, the exact same incredible mechanics apply to video deepfakes too. Modern AI models study thousands of images of a target's face just to understand the underlying geometry. The AI literally learns to predict exactly how a person's face should move while they're talking. It completely fabricates the subtle muscle movements of a smile, the natural frequency of a blink, all those complex micro-expressions. It's essentially puppeteering a digital mask over an actor, and it's mapping the whole thing in real time. Let's look at Section 3, the real-world impact and the actual cost of this deception. Because attackers have figured out a devastating new formula. They're taking traditional phishing, they're supercharging it with voice cloning and social engineering, and the results are, well, they're catastrophic. Companies all over the globe are already reporting massive financial losses from this. We're seeing real, documented cases where employees were so completely convinced they were speaking to a trusted executive or a familiar vendor that they happily bypassed all the security protocols and approved massive fraudulent payments. When the voice on the phone sounds exactly like your CEO and they're demanding immediate action, human psychology just tends to override all that corporate security training. So how do we fight back? Section 4, Spotting the Synthetic and Finding the Invisible Seams. While this AI is incredibly advanced, no detection method is perfect, right? The technology still has a few telltale flaws if you know exactly what to listen for. If you compare human audio to AI synthetic audio during a live interaction, you can often catch the AI stumbling just a bit. Listen really closely for slightly unnatural pauses. Moments where the rhythm just feels a fraction of a second off. Pay close attention to the emotion. Sometimes the AI really struggles to match the correct emotional emphasis to the context of the words being said. You might also notice this weird kind of robotic background noise. Or watch out for a complete lack of natural breathing sounds between really long sentences. To really protect yourself, you need a holistic view of the red flags across three main categories: behavioral, audio, and visual. Behaviorally, you've got to always be skeptical of unexpected urgency, especially when it involves requests for money. Audio-wise, like we just discussed, watch for that unnatural speech timing. But visually, if you're on a video call, look for repeated or looping facial expressions. Look at the lighting. Is the lighting on the person's face completely inconsistent with their background? And hey, here's a massive pro tip for you. Look at their eyes. AI often really struggles to accurately render realistic, dynamic reflections in the eyes. Now, these clues don't automatically prove something is a deepfake for sure, but they are absolute warning signs that you need to verify what's going on. Which leads us to our final section, Section 5, the defense playbook. This is all about process over technology. Your absolute best defense relies on establishing a really simple, unbreakable verification procedure. Step 1. Whenever you are faced with unexpected urgency, simply pause. Just take a breath. You need to break the psychological pressure that the attacker is trying to build up. Step 2. Confirm any sensitive request using a completely different second communication channel. If your boss calls you asking for money, hang up and message them on the internal company chat, or call them back on a verified known phone number. And step 3, structurally require approval from multiple people for any significant financial transaction. The reality here is that AI is completely transforming cybersecurity on both sides of the fence. Yes, attackers have remarkably powerful new tools, but defenders are also building much smarter AI-driven detection systems. However, technology alone is not going to save you. Training your employees to actually recognize these threats and relying on strong, unshakable human processes, that is ultimately your absolute best, most robust protection. Because the truth is, AI-generated media is getting more realistic every single month. The ultimate challenge we're facing isn't figuring out how to stop AI from existing. The challenge is deeply philosophical and highly practical. As this quote perfectly sums up, how do we verify truth and information in a world where seeing and even hearing is no longer enough to guarantee reality? Understanding this technology and taking the time to learn exactly how it works, like we've done in this explainer today, well, that's the critical first step. But the real work starts the moment you close this presentation. How are you going to adopt your own daily habits, both at work and at home, to stay secure when your own eyes and ears can be so seamlessly deceived? Are you ready to make verify before you act your brand new default setting? Seriously, keep that question in the back of your mind the very next time your phone rings.